Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age Pirates 4 replay. Spawn top left side as the yellow Mongols, we have David Kim. Spawn bottom right side as the blue English, we have Corazon Sombrio. Let's see now. English versus Mongol. Definitely a hard matchup for Mongols. The English don't need to venture on the map all too much, so it's hard for the Mongols to raid their resources when they have secure less resources on the map due to their cheaper farms. Since their farms do cost 37 wood, making them the most efficient wood source food in the game, as well as the other factions' farms, as well as even pastures. Additionally, they all have access to the mill, which can make their farms even better than even even feudal age, make it better than collecting up deer. Granted, it does a bit of a wood startup, but it's very comparable to a mill. He could perhaps claim up this deer nice and early, get that collected up sooner rather than later, and then start transition to farms. The Mongols, of course, their economic advantages come from the improved upgrades, but most people don't even go for these, as well as getting a bit of passive food generation, as we see a double pair of early horsemen out in the field, which is a bit rare to see. Early horsemen are incredibly niche. It's easier to use early spearmen than early horsemen. They're not even early spearmen, they're just regular spearmen. Additionally, they of course have no housing requirements. It's starting to push its way forward, trying to torch down this mining camp. It would take a significant amount of time. Each torch does 10 damage at a speed of 2 per second, so just assume there's 2 of them, so 1 per second. Estimated 10 damage, so take about 75 seconds to torch down the mining camp. A little bit more, since it's not good conversions with a 1.12 attack speed. And does spot the council hall. These horsemen will be used for the next age when his opponent deploys out the longbowmen. But his opponent's going to pull out the barracks because he sees the horsemen. He's going to get out the spearmen to assist the longbows. The silver tree is now being put on the field, eyeing for a bit of trade. And then I think he evacuated his villagers into the town center to get the food dropped off immediately. The market's not all the way to the side of the edge, so will be a little less effective than normal. They probably give him around, I would assume, 55 gold. And we do also have a longbowman on the field, spearman on the way. Silver tree's not even halfway completed yet. He's doing a good job of chasing these deer. Look at that. Look at that. He's hurting the deer very, very, very well. You may want to take that time to have a pair of villagers start picking them off, or the con. This one here does the immediate down over here. He managed to hurt all those deer very, very well. Even stabs that deer to death, and there we go. All the deer are nearly point blank. That's going to be incredibly good. He only has 1 sheep remaining. Maybe this bunch of them balked. Here, let's vault around. It's a couple sheep carcasses, at least 1 sheep carcass there. I think that's this village collecting another one. There's maybe around 300 food stored up in dead sheep carcasses there. Do you have the next age? You may want to go for the horseman upgrade. Upgrade the early horseman, the early horseman, the regular horseman. And picking up this longbowman right now can be very handy indeed, but does not. They don't approach the town center fire. Early horsemen only have 1 pierce armor, so they cannot withstand any sort of town center fire. Seeing the English town center also have 2 arrows rather than 1, it hits particularly hard. These horses are to make their advance now. Of course, there's nothing really exposed over here. Some deer carcasses. The town center range is 8, so the longbowman will have to venture into its range. Does get a stab there, takes up the sheep. We do have some keshiks being put on the field. It is not the ×2 keshik, just single keshiks. And he is going for some archers now. Archers will be very useful. Keshiks are, of course, very durable, good horsemen. The early horsemen are seeing quite a bit of arrow fire. I actually don't know exactly how the stats increase when it comes to early horsemen and regular horsemen. I think it increases the health up to 125 and pierce armor to 2, but I don't think it increases damage. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head. Do not have an early meal being put on the field. He's not even going to bother touching the berries since it's such a good source of food. And he has actually been very successful cleaning up these sheep because his opponent was escorting the early horsemen around, allowed his own scout to claim up most of the sheep on the map. Do not have the silver tree going right there. He's eyeing for ×2 traders. ×2 traders are not worth it. You only get a gold discount. You don't get a stone discount for the early traders, unless that was changed in the recent patch. Guess we'll take a quick look. Because last time I checked, that does not give a stone discount. And it still does not. The train time is still the reduction, but no stone discount. It is going to be half the map, so his gold income per trip's probably around 20. And, oh no, he's eyeing for there. That is bold. It will give him full trade value, probably around 62, I'm guessing. 65 gold. That is bold. That's incredibly risky because it's pretty easy for English to lock this down. Single watch outpost with some longbowmen nearby would easily do it. Got a good number of longbowmen here, as well as spearmen. He's eyeing for a pretty sizable force, but I think it's actually mostly meant for defense since it's not pushed forward anymore. He fell back. His opponent does have a great number of archers. He has 14 archers versus the 11 longbowmen. One on the way, 2 more longbowmen on the way. The early horseman does receive a bit of arrow fire there. I suppose if anything goes down, that's probably a good thing, because the early horsemen right now do 16 damage versus range. The Keshiks do 15 damage to everything. So overall, the damage output between the two are very similar, and the Keshik does cost the overall 200 versus the 120. Got some traders now being pulled out of the field. The archers could make their advance. He does have the arrow available, so he can use the attack speed arrow. And another early horseman goes down. We do got a good number of Keshiks here. Longbowmen making their advance. Let's get a bit of arrow fire there. Of course, the Keshiks can just throw a couple torches and get that healed up. They do have good pierce armor. Longbowmen entire base damage is very potent. Now I've got some more pierce damage being researched, so we'll increase the damage output of longbowmen on those Keshiks by 33%. Right now, both players have similar army size. Yellow has a higher army quality with the Keshiks. And now I've got this force advancing on forward. He does have the archers here, but he is outnumbered. There's 23 units here versus 27. So the Keshiks, they may be able to get a raid. This could force back blue. The trader isn't being tasked away. Does get its gold dropped off, but this trader will go down. Trader goes down, no problem. Over here. Keshiks probably could have stayed around a little bit longer, but of course the Townsend arrows still pose a big threat to him. We've got pierce armor being researched by both sides. He also needs some pierce damage, especially for his archers, to counteract his opponent's pierce armor. As well as to withstand a bit more town center arrows. A good, decent defense force here. 32 units versus the 24 offensive units. Yellow has a very large army, but does lose an archer there immediately. He can push forward. Got the Keshiks now roaming around, which could distract blue, allow the archers get engaged. Longbowmen do have reduced movement speed, so the archers will catch up to them. I wonder if he has the arrow research. Probably not. Keshiks now charging forward. Spearmen making their advance. Let's pick off one of the longbowmen there. If you can focus on the spearmen, column does go down, so it doesn't get off the arrow. Even the speed arrow will be pretty good at this moment in time. In fact, speed arrows probably be a little bit better than the arrow. He's trying to keep those spearmen up front so the Keshiks, so the archers take them out. The scout does go down, more of the spearmen are going down. Keshiks do get a nice little charge there. Does connect a little bit there. And he's focused on those spearmen. Does get some general hits there on the longbowmen, which is good. Right now, Yellow does have a superior army on the field, both in quality and numbers. But both sides are taking big losses. Does get a good charge attack there. Keshiks, there's very little spearmen left, so Keshiks could just be a general aid move now. Some of these other traders being discovered now. A couple of those 2 traders have gone down in total. Maybe good idea that some of these traders just over here for the time being. I do hear the palings that got pulled out there for a moment. Overall, I think Yellow won that engagement, but it was a big loss for both sides. There's no way for me to see damage overall done. And we'll be finding himself a free longbowman here, getting a bit of health as well. Let's see, forgot to mention as well, Evil Slash have this queue up first. Right now, Yellow has a slight civilian advantage, probably because of those traders. These traders being retasked to the short line. He is still continuing to queue them and get a whole lot of them out in the field. Could take time to perhaps maximize the distance now. Now do got a line of defensive palisade walls for blue. Now the con has been deployed. Bovo's now depleted. So we're going to get that deployed. He does have 80 stone stored up, and he's spending all the stone on additional archers. And now do have the early mana arms research, as well as some hack damage. He may be transitioning to some mana arms. Keshiks will be good for some mana arms. The archers still have to deal with all the spearmen. You could go for siege engineers and potentially improve siege engineers, because then these archers can then transition to build out some mangonels. Oh, looks like he may have misrallied. Oh nope, he is moving. He's not misrallied. Right now the Mongol player does have a very little reserve resources. English has some gold, and Keshiks will find a quick villager kill there. This is the primary town center. We've got 3 full mills already on the field, so this is going to give the English player massive food income. Neither player has gone for any economic text other than the English wheelbarrow. You can see here, 700 to 700, similar amounts, but 26 to 21, it's always a little bit off when it comes to that sort of thing. We got a good number of berries being collected on up. Over here. Let's get a good volley there onto that scout there, which will help blind him. Does pick up the con as well. Archer is going to be engaging. Got the spearmen maybe focused down so the Keshiks can get those man arms. The man arms have to be. Keshiks now just engaging. Man arms have been cleaned on up. There's still 1 more man arms there. These man arms pose a massive threat to Yellow. Keshiks barely alive at this point in time. Man arms have been cleaned on up. Yellow's moved back on off. There's also a good number of Keshiks here. A couple man arms go down. Man arms are 120. Same value as horsemen. So I think overall Yellow lost that engagement. There's just a lot of dead Keshiks there. Blue does have a smaller army in the field, but Longman still pack a pretty good punch. More archers being redeployed. He has not redeployed the Ovo. The rest of these berries being cleaned on up. But he is cleaning up some of these deer. He does have 1 outpost here for the traders. And currently right now he has 8 traders. 3 more on the queue. So he'll get some good gold generation there, and eventually some other resources as well. Some of these archers do go down. Keshiks charge on forward. couple spearmen were able to take out those couple archers or a couple keshiks. All spearmen now down. The keshiks can now charge forward. There's a couple men-at-arms here. The keshiks may want to focus on the men-at-arms, so they get those out of the way. Archers will focus on the men-at-arms. These man-at-arms will draw so much damage there. They have 4 pierce armor for 6 damage. They will take 2 damage per arrow. Feudal-age man-at-arms can be incredibly tough to deal with. Opponent's not planning more spearmen right now, so more keshiks would be pretty good. Overall, that's a pretty big loss for yellow, I would say. He's losing some of these archers now. At this point in time, he may want to eye to age up earlier than his opponent so he can get out the damage increase to hit those man-at-arms. Single spearman not harassing the trade line. Keshiks do manage to get a good charge attack on the man-at-arms, quickly able to deal with that man-at-arms at a time. When the Keshiks do go down, you may want to just ignore the man-at-arms right now and just start hitting these longbowmen. These man-at-arms are taking too much damage. That single spearman still causing some issues. Large number of the longbowmen have gone down. Still got these man-at-arms just streaming on forward. Now got this longbowman man-at-arms finding some spare villagers, which is actually very important. Khan may have gone down there. It's up more of the longbowmen. These villagers still getting hit, so he's going to lose some of these villagers. The spearmen still in this area as well. Yellow will lose villagers. We'll be backing off these man-at-arms now. As if these villagers haven't passed on off. There's also a boar here. I wonder if that was actually meant for the boar and he misclicked on the wood. That may have been the case, because why would you build gear there if it wasn't for clicking the boar? Man-at-arms now streaming on in. He's going to need some keshiks to deal with this area. Got a keshik here. Got multiple keshiks now moving around. The only thing that's reasonable versus this composition here does, barring that spearman. Spearman does go down. Archers and keshiks now moving over there. Now he's starting to clean up the boar there. Using the keshik to soak. He does not have survival techniques at the moment. Keshik's now pushing away forward. Some of these traders are getting hit, and there's actually a pretty wounded one there that does go down. As the game goes on, as they get to excess of castaways, the armor-clad upgrade will make these archers even more worthless against them. Additionally, it makes it even hard, even Keshiks engage them up for the men that age have what, up to 8 armor. Keshik's still the only reasonable thing he has at the moment for man-at-arms. When he gets the next age, he will need to get out some crossbows for those man-at-arms. The English economy is perfect for man-at-arms. They mostly cost food with a little bit of gold. There are 120, and so eventually when you get to Imperial Age with the enclosures upgrade, you get a good amount of gold generation for the man-at-arms production. And now the King's Palace being researched, got some economic text now. King's Palace does access Saffron Town Center, got some more barracks being put on the field, supplying iron for more man-at-arms. And again, traders can hit once again. At this point in time, he may need to station a garrison of keshiks over there to prevent them from being harassed. Sometimes you have to put some units at the start and end point in order to make sure they don't get harassed as much. Right now the traders do move at a decent rate, ever so slightly faster than the man-at-arms with the Yam network. Now we do have the man-at-arms research, and as well as the veteran longbowman research, a powerful combination. This wood deposit's been cleaned up. This one's wood deposit's been cleaned up as well. But we have a pasture here as well. It's trying to claim some other food sources. Claim some of these berries here. He does have this here. He could eventually go for the improved horticulture, as well as other improved techs. Most players don't go with the basic ones. 150, it's definitely good to go with the basic ones. It does add up. Pearl tie now being mass produced, you can probably take time to pack the gear and move it over to this wood line. No survival techniques yet, and no the forestry upgrade either. Over here, neither of those either. With a horticulture research, the fertilization, or it is level 1 horticulture. Does get the kernel tie here. That's why the archers have much needed damage going for the veteran Keshik research. The improved damage will give these archers 7 damage. These men-at-arms who have 5 pierce armor. He's going to need to fight near the kernel tie for these archers. Even then, these guys still pack a punch. He's getting the more archer damage, and there's a small window where these archers can do some decent work with the curl tie. Does use a speed arrow research there. Trying to does surround those man-at-arms there. Going to quickly pick them off. Longbow can't aid them anymore. The Keshiks are just in the way. And now all those man-at-arms gone down. Some of these villagers collecting boar will go down. More man-at-arms gone down. Now I've got the Keshiks charging on in. Over here, again, the man-at-arms coming in. Nailing these man-at-arms out the nearby curl tide to do 1 damage per arrow, so it takes 155 arrows to kill these guys. Armor clad is almost complete, and then now those archers do 1 damage for now in the future. He's going to need to get out some crossbows. He's going for more archers. If he's able to take out the man-at-arms quickly, then the Keshiks can take out those longbowmen. But more of these traders are going down. Pair of Keshiks respawning. There are veteran Keshiks versus the men-at-arms. Armor clad has been completed. It's going for more pierce damage on his longbow as well. That puts him with 10 damage. There's too many archers in this area. These archers need to fall back so they can help engage these longbows. More idle villagers going for a big wave of siege workshops. He doesn't have enough wood or gold right now in order to support out mass Maganel. Let's put it back onto the income over time. No economic text over here just yet. Man-at-arms do go down. Do got a palisade gate going on up. And a curl tie is being redeployed. And now it's trying to reclaim the boar. The boar still has 1,000 food left, so it's probably a good idea to claim it. He does have 4 pastures here, which can support up to approximately 3 villages each, but he has the economic tech, so less now. And there's 16 villages here, so he needs more pastures. There's simply not enough pastures. They do have Maganel's deployed field, as well as Greased Axle, going for Spring Gold as well. Maganel will be very useful at the Hardened Spearman Research, or the Veteran Spearman Research, I should say, and also the Yalm Network. Just the Yalm Network, not the improved Yalm Network. But it will provide the increased movement speed for these archers. They're doing right now 10 damage per arrow, so they will punch a little bit hard against man-at-arms who don't have all the pierce armor just yet. But when they do get it researched, they will take 2 damage per arrow. Until time, that will be 3 damage per arrow, which is actually very significant. And that's also now this handful of crossbows here as well. He does have a curl tie here, which will improve the damage output of also the Maganel. Spring Gold could just be able to move forward. Like hand cannoneers, like to shoot everything, just not cost effective shooting everything. Good hit there. Now he can make his advance. Let's find some more man-at-arms here. And the English player backed out of the game. Losing these forces like this is very problematic. So that's why he backed out of the game. This is Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay.